It's one of the things on the Mark IV that we are missing that I've just been living without, that I've decided enough is enough. We have no working stereo in the car.
Guys, we're upgrading the speakers in the Supra today, look, and the head unit. Just because the old one from the 90s smells.
As much as I love the original interior, we're gonna be updating this a little bit because this stereo does not work. I'm not able to listen to any sort of music, and when I do turn it on, Cal, you wanna give them a little shout out to what it sounds like? So when you turn this on, the antenna goes up in the back. How do I fine tune? But our stereo is not up to par, so we're gonna be replacing 2 door speakers today and 2 rear speakers. This car does come with tweeters, but from all the research that I've done, replacing those is a ton of work. And for this car, I don't think it's 100% necessary, so we're gonna choose to opt out of that and just do the main speakers, which are the 2 doors, and we have 2 in the back. On top of that, as you guys saw earlier, we have a nice head unit that we're gonna be putting in as well. We're gonna be removing this panel and installing the new head unit, and it's giving us a little modern touch, and some music while driving is always nice.
Oh, fiddly with the touchscreen.
That's right. All right, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and start taking off the interior panels. We're gonna start off by taking off these 5 screws that are above the tachometer. This is one of those times where I always recommend to always have a Calvin in stock when doing any sort of interior install or removal, especially if it's an old vehicle. You always want a pair of nice, fragile hands.
I am definitely 9 for 10. That one loss was the RX-7 vent.
You did break that, I remember that. Only the OGs are gonna remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, rip to that guy. Oh, and we're out.
And then we just gotta disconnect the harness out the back, which I can surround the top there. Oh!
Why do I always do that?
Dang! Unfazed.
Why do I always do that?
It keeps on going. It doesn't even take a break to assess the damage. You gotta love that hustle, kids. Also, forgot to remind you guys that this Friday, which might be the time you're watching this video, we have a drop on thehuntingcompany.com, or just check the Instagram at The Hunting Company to get updates on all the new stuff coming out. We have new t-shirts, new sweatshirts, and a whole bunch of new socks. Sorry for the underwear shot. Really excited about this new drop, so if you guys want to support that, be sure to click the links down below. This is proving to be pretty easy. Everything is pretty easy to come off, all things considered, because we've been working on the Lambo and stuff lately. This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's super nice to have someone like Calvin, because this is his ultimate skill. If he was a Pokemon, his skill would be tight places.
Reaching around tight places, yeah.
I mean, you're good at it.
Sticking fingers in tight holes.
Well, you know, that isn't really what your job description would be for your Pokemon character, but it could be if you wanted it to be. Old one is officially out. We're gonna transfer over the case and all these extra appliances that go on top. Calvin's gonna remove that. And here is our new one. So for those who haven't never done these before, this is like our 5th or 6th time, I think, doing a head unit install. And they're always really great because it's a really good way to add a little touch of modern technology to your car. And I always just think these big screens look super neat. And so when you're doing it, it's all fairly simple. A double din, if you have a head unit that's a double din like that, if you just search up a double din, they're all the same size. They're all like a universal fit, which is awesome. So it makes picking these out super easy. And then you just transfer over the case that it comes with, put it on this, and then really slide it back in. There's a little bit of soldering we're gonna have to do with the harness that it came with, but it's all relatively simple. So now that we're gonna start doing that, I think while Calvin is gonna try and figure out the harness, well, not try to figure out, he's just gonna match the right colors to the right objectives. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the door panels and get to these speakers, and then we have a new bracket that's gonna go on that as well. I wanna quickly interrupt today's video to say thank you to our sponsor, Fiverr. I've learned about Fiverr a little over a year ago, and since then, I've been using it all the time. I'm constantly getting questions about how I started my channel and certain tools that I use to upkeep my channel, and Fiverr is one of the tools that I use most when it comes to business things surrounding my YouTube channel that I need to get done, and here's why. Fiverr can connect individuals and business owners to freelance talent for certain things that they don't specialize in. Stuff like logo design, thumbnail art, YouTube banners, animations, photo retouching, web design, a whole bunch of things. Recently, I've been wanting to clean up my social media accounts, adjusting things like my bio, my profile photos, and something that I've been meaning to do for a long time is my YouTube banner. Whenever I need anything done as far as freelance goes, I go to Fiverr and find someone to get it done for me. And before this video is over, I'm gonna help you get started as well. I'm not gonna lie, it has taken me a long time to find the right creative talent that I need, but finding the best of anything takes time. When I wanted to work on my YouTube banner, I used a freelance artist. It was extremely quick, followed all of my instructions, and he got it back to me within 24 hours of placing my order. Rather than telling you guys about a resource or a company, I wanted to help and empower you guys by giving you something right now. So I created my own curated store with my favorite category and talent for you guys to look through right now. If you guys are looking for logo designers for your brand, or you want to start a brand, this is a great place to get some logos done. There's tons of categories, so click the link in my bio below to get started and check it out today. Search through my personal store by using the link and use code TJHunt for 15% off of your first Fiverr purchase. Thank you so much for Fiverr for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it. Look at this. Here, bud, you can have that.
Thanks.
So I did some research on the forums and I found out that the car actually only comes with like these 4-inch door speakers. And it's this whole plastic assembly, and this actually reminds me a lot of what we saw in the FD. A lot of like the 90s audio era was all about these like big plastic boxes for, I guess, I don't know, like to move air, I guess, whatever. So what we ended up doing is we got some door brackets that replace that, and this actually enlarges it so we can fit a 6-inch speaker. So it's pretty simple assembly. Right now I'm just fitting the speaker into the bracket. Just put the speaker into its placeholder, and then it comes with hardware, and then you literally just drill this through these little plastic rubber kind of supports, and once it goes through, it's seated down, and then we'll go ahead and move on to our wiring. Once you have it all drilled in, looks pretty simple. The screws are hanging out the back, which you know, isn't too much of an issue because it just goes into the door and there's nothing behind it. But when we're done, that's what it should look like. So now that the new speaker is installed on the car, we have to set up the wiring, which is going to be, it's relatively simple. Here's the stock connector that plugged into the original speaker. There is a power and a ground, or as Mickey would say, a phase 1 and a phase 2. Mickey used to do audio, so I used to know, I get all my audio information from Mickey over there. We snip those off, and then we have this wire. One is a positive, one is a ground, and I'm going to take the ground and attach it to the ground and put the positive to the positive. Crimp those up. You could make a detachable clip, but I don't ever see us taking these off again, so for that reason I'm not going to. But if you wanted to do the extra millionth mile, you absolutely could. Once I go ahead and get these hooked up together, we're gonna go ahead and put the door card back on, and this side will be complete. There we have it, and they're nice and secure. I'm gonna go ahead and put this door panel back on and move on to the other side. All right, so in the back there is a speaker panel right here. Now what's awesome is that they made this super easy to come off. This is literally, you get a prying tool and you pull it off. Once you pull it off, it exposes the rear speaker. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 little screws, and then there's like a bunch of glue back here. So I think we'll just rip this out, disconnect it, and throwing the new one back in should be pretty easy. Oh my gosh. Once all the screws are removed, there's like glue on the back side of the speaker, and it is so tough to get off. That was not easy.
Oh, you don't even have to.
Nope, don't even have to do anything.
It's always part.
What's awesome is that this is literally just already set up to go in our new speakers. We're gonna get new speakers, throw these in, plug it in, put it all back, boom, done. Here we have another rear speaker. Again, these are the same size as the ones in the front. These are 6 inches, and there's 2 connector points on the back. Make sure you do positive to positive and ground to ground. This is gonna be really tough to film, so I'm gonna show you guys it and then show you from farther back. There's a hole here, 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 and here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to line this up so I can get these in with some of the holes that are here. It's just gonna take a little bit of like micro adjusting and whatnot, but I should be able to do it, and I'll let you guys know when I get it done. Job done. Wow.
Wow, you just Freudian.
Job done.
You just Freudian slipped so hard. Leave that in there. Oh man,
and
that
for
was
example,
sick. That was amazing.
this side. Might as well just work on this side because Calvin's still up there doing all that stuff.
Okay.
Woo!
I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna see.
What?
Long story short, the JDM wiring harness is totally, absolutely different than the USDM. So I'm using the common knowledge in my head to send it. Ground is ground, right? Ground is ground, right?
I mean, I guess.
Ground is ground. If ground is ground, we're good. If it ain't, we ain't good. But we should be good.
Alright, I'm gonna repeat this on this side. Get this job done. Just to the other side, no need to show it twice. I wish every car was this easy to work on. Because that was beautiful. You ready to test, sir?
Get those bits off my bit and then I'm gonna put her in. And we're gonna test it. The head unit is all plugged up. My wiring job is about as good as it's gonna get. TJ is gonna plug in the battery and I'm gonna turn the key. Yep, send it. Okay, ready? Moment of truth, baby. It turned on. It turned on. I can't believe it's on. Oh, you should see the what I had to do to get this to work, okay? But the speakers is another story. Good luck.
So the only speaker that isn't done is your driver's side one, but the rears are done and this is done. Might be a good time just to test.
We just need to make sure that it plays music.
Yeah, I'm connecting the Bluetooth right now. I don't know if this one can go on.
Okay, well, no audio. So my wiring is bunk.
Amp error, amp error, amp error. Show it, show it, show it.
Huh. All right. Okay, well, don't peel that off. Okay, so I don't know how to go about doing this then.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
What do you mean? Don't look at you. This is your bread and butter.
Well, because it's different. I have to do more research. Fracking frack. In here.
Calvin and I are gonna try one more time on a test. We ended up finding that, oh gosh. We ended up finding that the amplifier has a bypass harness on the inside. So we were able to find that, translate it through the JDM harness. What?
Is that the second time you tripped? Almost died?
Yes. So we're gonna key on again. We're gonna try every speaker is hooked up. So hopefully all of that worked. I'm a little bit nervous, I gotta be honest. And that didn't do anything, Calv.
What happened?
Are you sure you're keyed on?
Maybe we blew the fuse.
What fuse?
On the back.
In the back of this puppy?
It was a back.
All right, round two. Not everything was plugged in. And it doesn't care.
Doesn't care at all.
All right, troubleshooting again. What'd you just fix? Or what did you do differently to make you confident right now?
I'm 100% confident that it will work. 100%
This time.
this time, because we unplugged the plug back there, and what that plug does is
What plug was it?
a bypass plug. We unplugged the bypass plug, and that gives power to the plug that we had before that plugged into the head unit.
It's a little bit confusing, but for everyone who has a USDM Supra, it's a lot easier because it's just like plug and play. But because we had a JDM, we kind of had to like pick and choose certain harnesses to go from, and there is a bypass for the amp that's under the seat that we found that's on an opposite side. Rather than having three, there's only two plugs.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna work now.
Tapped into the right one.
Tapped into the right one.
He's so confident, he's bolting it back in.
Yeah, I don't even need to see it happen. I don't even need to see it happen.
I got that door card back in while Calvin was figuring that out.
Let me just take.
I mean, dog, we don't even, it might turn on, but we don't know if we fix that amp thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. There's a lot of confidence being spread from Calvin.
100%.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like you said placenta. So, you know, there's that.
Wow.
Give her a fire or turn her on. Accessory mode.
Easy. Boom. On. Speakers.
All right, we're playing non-copyrighted music because obvious reasons.
YouTube.
Gonna play with this a little bit. It works, and I hear it actually sounds great. It's coming from like all around the car, which means that our wiring job.
100% confident. I told you.
Yep, I feel it in all of them.
I told you.
Dang, son.
Told you. We gotta double stick tape some panels.
Yeah.
If we don't, we'll hear that vibrate.
Yeah, that vibrates a lot actually. Wait, let it vibrate. So that's like that vibration is panels like beyond the car. Or like beyond where the speakers were. I can feel it like up here.
Monka shake.
So I mean, just don't put a lot of bass. No car from the 90s is gonna not rattle with. I mean, I wouldn't put no bass, but just lower the bass. Hey, it works. That's what I'm most excited about. Now let's put all this together and see how good this looks.
Oh, it's gonna look spicy.
There you have it, folks. We have an updated interior here. Still making the car look stock. Retrofitted the new larger speakers. Swapped out the rear speakers.
I think that this is my favorite mod before exhausts. Head units.
And it's one that we've been doing for years now.
Yeah.
It really makes you feel real good when you can do this. And this is pretty much like a universal install for everyone. It's very simple to do. So if you have a car that's older, like in the 90s or even in the early 2000s, or you just want to upgrade your speakers under modern, do some research. All the components we use today were all bought off of Amazon. These speakers and this head unit, I went and I searched for double din head unit, and for the speakers, I just searched for 6-inch speakers, and they were the first non-ad promoted products, but they were the first products with the 5-star review, and they had the Amazon editor's choice, meaning that it's like the most popular, highly reviewed item, and they were only 40 bucks. So I spent 80 bucks on speakers, and I spent 250 bucks on this head unit. So for a grand total of what? Under $400, we got great sound,
Supra.
and we have Bluetooth connection in the Supra. And installing speakers is a little bit more intimidating than you really think it is. It's just hooking up some new wires, and that's it. So hopefully you guys can go and apply this to your car. I appreciate you guys watching this little mini install video Calvin wanted to go ahead and do. And now that we've done this, it's time to upgrade the Mark V. So we'll do that in the next few days. Thank you guys so much for watching.
What a segue.
Peace out and keep moving forward.